First, Nona. Hello, Nona.
Hello.
Spark shifting out of its aging telephone network to a next generation digital network. Next generation, that's so 21st century, that phrase, isn't it?
Did you love that?
Well, I suppose I do. I mean, what does it mean? They hardly like to go back to a previous generation digital. I mean, yeah.
Well, the reason they're moving ahead is because the legacy system, that's the one that's been in existence for, I guess, a long time, is old. They can't even get spare parts for it, and the people they need to do the work don't really, the skills are not there anymore, because the system is so old. So they're replacing it.
All those poor chorus contractors driving around in their vans.
Well, now that's different, right? That's
okay,
the lines under the...
Okay,
See, this is not the lines. This is the network. So it's sort of like, there's 400 locations. Who knew? Anyway, they're going to be able to take these locations, decommission them, and then bring it into a centralized point, which is going to save them in the long run in power and maintenance costs and what have you. In terms of the service to consumers, most people are not going to notice any difference, except when they switch it over, and it's going to be, they're going to try and time it so it's off peak, like the middle of the night, that kind of thing. For people who have old technology, so say an old house alarm, or just a few different kinds of items that potentially are like old school, they may not work. Like an old FPOS, like a dial-up one, you know, every once in a while you come across that. You know, it's pretty rare. These days we all want to use the wave, don't we? I mean, come on. So it's not going to be a huge disruption for consumers.
Right, and so Spark advancing this is a win-win. First of all, they are upgrading. Secondly, they're going to provide us a better service. And thirdly, they're reducing costs over the long term in terms of maintenance.
Well, because of the saved power and then the maintenance. Now, of course, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years. And the planning for it, believe it or not, has been more than a decade in the making. True. Right. So there you are. I asked them how much it was going to cost. They wouldn't tell me. They said it's part of their budget, so never mind. They'll be fine. They're not planning to spend it all in one big whack anyway.
Right. 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so I expect it's going to cost a pretty penny, but they're not saying how much. Just that they've already budgeted for it. Well, anyway, so that's now, what else do we have?
The markets. Tell us about the markets. And we're going to talk about the pound tonight, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I can't talk too much about the pound because, you know, currency moves so much. But we do know that there was a call for a surprise call for an election in Britain overnight. Well, yesterday, so to speak. So, yeah, that actually sent the pound soaring. I guess some people think that I'm not sure why they think that.
This is hypothesis by me, but the Tories are regarded as such a safe bet. The market's like the Tories, ergo people are buying the pound, right?
Well, they've been wrong before, John.
Yeah, spectacularly.
I wouldn't be betting on currency markets myself, although I know there are people who do, and often it doesn't work out in their favor, but never mind.
Well, Brexit being the case in point. So the pound went up, did it shot up?
It did, actually. So yesterday around this time it was, 55.8 New Zealand. Today it's 54.9, so there's the difference. It's quite substantial. The Australian dollar, 93.5 against the New Zealand, and 70.4 US cents. So we're a lot stronger against the US currency today, and that's partly because the market is still digesting what Donald Trump was talking about when he thought the dollar was too high, and he thought that the Fed should go easy on U.S. Interest rate hikes, and anything that unsettles the market somehow seems to be reflected in the strength or weakness of the New Zealand dollar.
What did the share market do before you go?
Well, ended down 0.2% by 15 points to 7,219. And we'll be keeping an eye on that pound for you, John.
Nona Peltier, thank you so much. Nona, who joins us in the Auckland studio.